Hello, Trinity family. This is Pastor Dewar, and this is your Theology in 3. Today, I'd like to talk about setting. When I was in college, my college had a theater program, and they had what was called a black box. Inside the black box, they could redesign the set to be whatever they wanted. They could rearrange the seats however they wanted, and it made for a really interesting and artistic expression for most of their plays. I remember one play in particular was Shakespeare's Hamlet. It's a familiar play that many people have read, and they used, I think, the full Shakespearean text, Shakespearean language, and they created a set that was very different. It was white. Like there were huge white sheets that came down from the ceiling. I think they painted the floor white, and the actors were wearing either black or white. And so the whole theater was this black and white situation. And they had the chairs that went, I think, almost all the way around, if not all the way around. And so you were actually looking at the other audience members as well as you were sitting in this theater. And it was a very artistic expression of Hamlet. It was very cool. Now, they didn't do it this way because they had to. It wasn't a budget thing. They had a professional set designer on staff that could design anything. Like one time they did Ovid's Metamorphoses, and they put a swimming pool in the middle of the theater, and all of the scenes revolved around that swimming pool. Or one time they had their actors grow their hair out real long and then shave just the top of their head and do comb-overs because, well, none of their actors were old enough to need a comb-over, so they had to do something makeshift like that. So this theater had the resources to do something tremendous, but this is what they chose. And it was really cool because it was artistic, but it meant that the audience had to know the play, and the audience had to supply in their minds where the actors were, what the actors were doing. If this was a table, if this was a castle, if this was the middle of a field, whatever it might be, the actors had to supply that. And the reason for this is because, well, modern film and television have gone and done a better job with set than plays can do. And so plays have then moved into a more artistic expression where the audience has to imagine what's in the scene. Now, this applies to Scripture because we read Scripture the same way we watch that play. We read Scripture in black and white. We have to supply in our minds our own image of what is going on. And often because we live in a different culture, in a different century, in a different time, in a different place, we supply perhaps the wrong image. We're not people from first century Palestine when we read the stories of Jesus. We're people from 21st century America. Very different setting. I've attempted over the last couple of weeks with the Theologies in 3 to supply some of that background image, be it with artifacts or geography or whatever else. It's very helpful for us when we go to the land of Israel, to walk where the people walked. When we study archaeology and look at the material culture and see the objects that people used in their everyday lives. It's very helpful when we read the historical background and see what the other people at the time were doing at the time these stories were written. This is all very helpful for us to put color, splash color on the pages of Scripture, that we'd be able to see not in black and white, but to see in color what's going on. And so this is why it's important for us to study these historical things. It's important for us to study these cultural things. It's my prayer for you that you would take all of these ideas, you continue to run with them, to continue to study and learn, and continue to see where the Lord leads as we understand His people, His relationships with each other, and most importantly, their relationship with Him, so that we may understand our relationship with Him better. I pray that you have a blessed rest of your day.